everybody. This is Mickey G. I know we've been away for a while as I took a bit of a break and then, unfortunately, my mom passed away. So, trying to deal with that, but having a partner like Rodney T who kept checking on me, as Dionne Warwick sang, that's what friends are for. And I really appreciate that. But we're back. We're back talking about old food, talking old school. Hope you enjoy this session.
Yeah, man, this is getting to be a kind of adventure where every time I don't sign on for a while and then sign on a little bit, got me looking at some new stuff. Now all of a sudden, my picture is up here on the thing. I ain't never had it. He used to ask you about that. I just signed in and there my face is. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I can see you. That's what I said. Rodney on video tonight.
Yeah, I'm like what's up with that? They ain't even asked me if I wanted to. So, yeah, I'm like, man, okay. At least I got here because I was beginning to wonder.
Yeah. Sometimes, they'll have stuff in there as a default. If you don't click off of it, it'll come up.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, well, hell, as long as if I can get on, I'll be good.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's been a while. Like I say, man, I was saying to myself the same thing. I'm like, I hope I know how to do this. It's been a while.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while. Yeah.
So all's going as well as be expected then.
Yeah. It's just like anything else. Things could be far worse. You just sort of work through it. And as they say, time starts to heal things a little bit. So,
right.
We're just starting to get a little bit of time in there, and the emotions and feelings start to get a little bit better. So, we're doing good. We're going to, get together for Thanksgiving. I know last year, Kathy was asking about getting together, after Mark passed. And I said, the way things are going, you don't know who's going to be around next year.
Yeah.
Talking about, maybe it's a little early. Maybe we should wait. I said, you don't know who's going to be around next year. And lo and behold, our mom ain't here this year,
Right.
So I said, yeah, we need to get together as much as we can because the numbers are dwindling.
Yeah, buddy. I know what you mean. We just got back from Texas down there going to see Rosa's mom, and she was out. Well, I had to put her car in the shop today, and yesterday, and we went and got it today. Of course, we were out on the other side of town. She go, I'm going to DSW. I'm like, I'll be damned. You don't even know if your car running right yet. So I was like, all right. Well, she was gone for a while. Then she called me and said, hey, your mother fell. I was like, oh, man.
Boy.
So luckily, so far, it don't look like she done broke anything, but now she's back worried about that. So you know how it goes.
Yeah. It's just a tough situation, man. That's one of those things that you want your folks to be around forever, but it just seem like, when you start to get up in age and things, you just start to think about quality of life after a point, and that was one thing that was, on our mind when, mom was still in the hospital. It just, she just wasn't the same person even up until a few days when she went in, and I don't know if that was her condition or all the medications she had her on, or they had her on or what, but, me and Kathy was saying to each other, there's a real good possibility that she's not going to be able to go back home. So what are we going to do then? Are we going to, look at putting her in a home for at least a while, and of course, unfortunately, or in some ways it might have been fortunate, that wasn't a decision we had to make, but, it's just a tough situation when you get into that kind of thing. I look at my uncle. When we go see him, he physically, I mean, still as strong as he's ever been. I mean, I had to tell him to let my hand go. He shake my hand, almost break my damn hand. He's squeezing my hand so hard, you
Yeah.
know. But he can't get more than word or two out when he's trying to talk, and we just keep thinking to ourselves, is he really understanding what we're saying to him?
Yeah.
And he's trying to respond, and just can't get it out. Uh, but it just like just to see him that way, especially being such a like one of those kind of people that was just so into everything,
Right.
and all that. It's just a sad situation, and you just sort of have to take, well, that's life, and not try to understand and say why or all that stuff. Just say, just that's life.
Hmm.
At some points it's out of our hands.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Ain't no doubt about it. Roz was just talking about how she talked to her mom, and when she's there, she wants all this stuff done, but then when you get there, she don't want you to do it,
Hmm.
kind of thing. We were sitting down there, which I've always like, why do they keep that down? They got 3 deep freezers, man. And I'm like, I bet some of them been in there since the 1999. So Rosin said, when I get home, we're going to clean that out. Man, she argued with Rosin. Finally, Rosin said, okay, we ain't going to mess with it though. But, it's like, it's kind of morbid to say we want to get some of that stuff done because, I mean, just by the way it is, you never know how much more time she got left. But,
Right.
she's deteriorating, so Rosin, that's part of the deal. She feels guilty that she ain't there to help her sister more. So I was like, well, you go down there and I'll come and get you, because I can't stay down there that long. And we stayed about 4 days this time. The houses that we grew up in ain't but one bathroom in there, and it's set up for her with the booster on the toilet and the things that she can grab a hold to and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'll be done pissed on myself by the time I get in there and move all. So I've been staying in a hotel. Then she got upset about that. This is your home. You don't need to stay in no hotel. You got everything you need right here. Like, well, I appreciate that, but I'm like, no, it's better for me to stay over there. And the other part of that, I don't even know if it's basic, but your cable is limited. I ain't got nothing to do. At least let me have something to watch on TV. I said, no, it's best for me to stay at a hotel. Like, I just hate that. I'm like, oh, you all right? Everything is fine. Like, man, but hell, I'm beginning now to think I ain't gonna stay in them hotels no more. I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for it to figure out. They done charged me twice. Uh, I see one has moved and another one is pending, and
Uh-huh.
that's a different price than what my receipt said. And I'm like, I'll be damned. What's wrong with y'all? I the last time we went down, I stayed in the hotel. I went to this one hotel. We had a couple of class reunion deals over there. Back then, it was a nice hotel. I didn't know this sucker was about to go bankrupt, and this one had an outbreak of bed bugs. I went over there. I just know the room I went in, man, none of the lights worked. I had to call somebody to turn the TV on. I was like, oh, hell no. So I went and I walked back up to the desk after I packed my stuff all back together and got with the girl at the front desk. I said, yeah, I need my checkout receipt. I'm not staying here. I'm leaving. And she gave me a piece of paper. Well, it was like 11:30 at night. So I'm thinking about where am I going to go to get a hotel room? Hope something's still open, still available.
Mhm.
I never looked at the receipt until I got back and I went into my account, charged me like I had stayed there. No, damn well I didn't stay there. So I had to go file a report with my credit card people over here. And I had my checkout receipt from my other place. I said, now how was I at two places at one time? Anyway, they got that and got them to credit it back. But I'm like, if I got to go through this every time I go down there, hell, I'll sleep outside in my damn truck. I ain't gonna be doing this mess too much.
Yeah.
So it's
I
something,
know there
man.
was a little hotel up there in McMinnville. It's the newest one up there. It's a Hampton Inn. It's a nice little hotel. But we were going up there for the weekend of my class reunion, and there was also the same weekend we were having a yard sale at the museum. And I told man, I said, I'm not driving up there and driving back, Friday night and Saturday night. I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and get a hotel room. We'll just spend the night. So
Mm-hmm.
I called up there probably month and a half before the event. I was got this recording, and he said something like, we're unable to make reservations at this point or something of that nature. And I'm like, okay, they may just got have some kind of, technical problems, whatever. So I called about a week later, got the same message. So I called I think Hampton Inn is part of International Hotels, wherever. I called the 1-800 number. I said, yeah, I was checking on this, little place up there, see what's going on. I said, oh, yeah, there's some issue with the reservation system and they can't make reservations now. And we hope to get it fixed as soon as we can. Well, I gave it 2 or 3 more weeks, just thinking, at first I thought they were sold out. I said, well, maybe there's something going on that weekend that they don't even have any room. But I'm like, I don't know if anything else is going on. And finally, I went up there, I guess it was on a week before, and I walked in and I said, yeah, I've been trying to get a reservation. The system won't let me get a reservation. He said, yeah, that system's been down for a while, so we can't make reservations. All you can do is walk in the day that you want to stay and see what we got. I said, you're kidding me. No, that's all we can do. And I said, well, this is what I want to come up on this weekend and all. And I'm here right now. Can y'all, write my name on a piece of paper or something? Oh, no, sir, we can't do anything right now.
Oh
All you
man.
gotta do is walk in on the day you want to stay. And if we got rooms, and she said, hopefully we'll have some rooms. I said, I'm thinking the same thing. McMinnville, Tennessee, it ain't gonna be full probably anyway. But
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I went up there and the day that I was to check in, I said, I was trying to make a reservation. Y'all kept telling me I couldn't make a reservation. Yeah, I remember you coming in, and our system is still down. And I said, okay. I said, do you have any rooms available? And I think the hotel has like 160 rooms or something. She said, yeah, we got like 159 available. I said, I said, I only need one. She laughed. She started laughing. She said, yeah. I said, yeah, we got like 159 available. I said, I only need one. So she's like, well, where you want to stay? You on the second floor? You want to go to third? You on the first floor? Do you want by the door? I said, well, I'm parked over there on that side right there. I said, give me a room by that exit. That way I ain't got to walk that far. She said, yeah, no problem. I said,
Yeah.
I've never said, I said, it just seemed like y'all might be losing some business, but I think it's one of those kind of things. All the other hotels in town are almost like the place you say you stayed at. Matter of fact, one they say is almost like a homeless shelter.
Mm.
That's where all the homeless people and everything is. So
Mhm.
I guess they figure they ain't got a whole lot of competition, so they ain't worried about it. But yeah, I mean, wouldn't even take my name down when I walked in. And no, so you just got to come in today. You want to get your room, and we'll see what we have available. They said, yeah, we
Ooh.
got 159 rooms available.
That's wild. That's kind of like what I said out because I was gonna call and make a reservation, right? And in my mind, I'm like going on in Texas County. Hell, I can walk right up to the desk and get there, and I'll be damn. I get there, and the Marine Corps had rented the sucker out. They were having their little ball or a war ceremony or something. And I was able to get a room though, but hell, I couldn't find nowhere to park. I was out and about, came back to park. Man, I was like, shh. I asked the woman at the front door, I said, did y'all tell them jawheads that they need to park back over on the other side? where, because one of Rosalind's family members had a birthday party there, and we parked over on the other side where the event center was. Them suckers were all in the front where the customers were parked. I was like, oh my God. I rode around the parking lot for about 15 minutes before finally somebody moved. And I parked by this dude. He had parked his white truck in there half catty-cornered. I was like, I went on made do because I was tired of riding around, and I got up in my room, but it was right where I could see it out my window. And the more I passed by there and saw it, I'm like, let me go move my damn car.
Yeah, yeah.
You forget he done parked in there with the wheels all cocked. And I was like, man. So I saw a few of them leave because it looked like a whole bunch of them went for whatever they were doing. And after it was done, they were gone. So I went down and reparked, and I said, now all weekend. And but they got plenty of hotels down there. But I went ahead and stayed at the Hilton this time because I stayed at Comfort Inn the last time over on the Arkansas side, so I could get to Roz and them quicker, and they were all right. So I said, I'm gonna stay at the Hilton now. They told me it was pretty nice. Plus, I was sitting there looking. I'm like, okay, I'm down here. I ain't got nothing to do. Not all of them. Hilton had a bar, had a restaurant, had all that. I said, hell, I can just set up shop there and not go nowhere and do nothing, so I did. And, of course, then they tell me, well, the bar closes at 10 o'clock. I'm like, I'm just waking up at 10 o'clock. But, yeah, we did that. And so I was sitting there. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my old standby because I used to be strictly a Holiday Inn man because I got some good treatment there. I'm like, hey, I ain't going plus I just didn't want to ride around. When they told me what the price was, I'm like, the other hotels ain't going to be that much less for me driving around, look at them. So I stayed there, but I ain't necessarily got to stay at the Hilton no more. I just get me somewhere and go in there because all I was doing was going to sleep in it and getting up and going.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But I thought about when you was talking about, your mother-in-law's house, that's where it was when we used to go to Alabama. We would stay with Man's grandmother. And, it was a modest house. I'll put it that way.
Right.
She was doing the best she could. It's paid for. It was fine for her. Kind of thing. But as a matter of fact, we was going there, and then as the girls were, young babies, they, didn't have any choice, but they got to be older. By that time, Madison them had moved a trailer over there to the property right next to it. They started staying over there, but we would still stay with her grandmother.
Right.
And finally, after about a year, man, it's like, we'll just stay over there at Madison, because like I said, she didn't have any air conditioning. It'd be hot. We bought that one window unit and she wouldn't turn it on. We got there, we had to clean it out and get all the dust and stuff out of it before we turn it on and everything. And she said, we'll just start staying over there. And she understood. I mean, she didn't, make no big deal out of it and all. And, like I say, she'd want to cook and stuff. And then we just tell her, it's just too hot. You getting that gas stove going and trying to cook it. We appreciate it. But, we said, we'll just, cook stuff over at Madison them and we'll bring you a plate and we'll come over and visit, during the day kind of thing.
Right.
We did that for the last number of years before she passed on because I know one time Tamara went over there and came over, guys said, Mom, Grandma, she's cooking on the stove and she got all these styrofoam containers sitting on the stove. So man went over there and she had these styrofoam to-go boxes on the stove. And she said, Grandma, you can't have these on the stove. These things will catch fire. She just didn't wasn't paying attention to what she was doing and stuff. And it got toward the end, like I say, we just told her, just don't cook, period. We're either going to cook over there at Madison them or we'll go just get something and we'll bring it to the house and, we'll eat there and that stuff. But toward the end, was the same thing. We just pretty much stayed over there at Madison's them. But you like I say, you don't want to seem like you're being disrespectful, but it just, I guess it's just one of them things that I guess we had gotten pampered through life. We were used to AC and stuff.
Yes, sir.
It ain't nothing worse than trying to sleep at night and you're sweating and carrying on.
I'm here to tell you, hey, I ain't apologizing. I'm like, no. Because even when she was up and about, because see, they did the same thing when we would come home. They take that plastic off of them window units and air them out, because they're like, Rodney got to have some air. You sure enough right, baby. I got to. I can't. I would not sleep at all if I'm hot.
Yeah,
It
I'm the same
just
way.
I'd be miserable, and my nose would be all stopped up and all that. And we could stay out at her sister's house. They got a nice house down there, and I just don't, uh, you know, her husband is cool and everything, but we ain't on the same wavelength. I was like, nah. And Rosin knows. She said, I know you don't want to stay out. Nope, I certainly don't. So I'm getting a room. If I'm not, that's why I thank the Lord every day that He blessed me. And if I'm not comfortable with something, I have the means of doing otherwise.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. God, I'm just trying to think of the last time we stayed with family, because
Mhm.
for the last probably, shoot, 5, 6, 7 years, Madison and them have been coming up here for 4th July and
Mhm.
Christmas. We used to always, go down, at least once and go down there, but they like, "There ain't nothing down here and stuff. Y'all, we'll come up there because they come up here and shop and stuff, that they can't really
Right.
do down there." So they've
Right.
been coming up here for the last, I guess, like I say, 5, 6 years.
Mhm.
And I'm just, like I say, I can't think of the last time we've stayed with family members, but uh, they got they had the one bathroom in their house too. So you got
Mhm.
to sort of schedule your time in, kind
Yeah.
of thing,
Yeah.
and you you be think I be thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't I don't want to go in here and blow the place out, do
Yep.
that Ron Witherspoon thing, you don't want to go in there
Yep.
with 30, 45 minutes, kind of thing, and it just
But then,
like I say, it just
you'd
sort of,
be miserable.
yeah, it sort of cramps your
It's like
style a little bit.
I wasn't done. Yep. And
So
then, just like I mean, we can step outside of their patio door down there. They back door, I guess, is what it is, really. And they got a chain link fence by the uh, carport there. And for years, we go in there because you just think about it. It was me and Rosin and the boys, and her brother and his wife, and of course her parents in that one bathroom. And I'm sitting up there squeezing my cheeks and holding in, until one day I stepped outside and her brother was standing out there pissing. I said, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing from now on. I done pissed through that fence. I'm surprised grass still grow over there. Daytime, nighttime, whatever. But and plus too, when you in your own house, you usually go into the bathroom whenever you feel the
you feel like,
urge.
yeah, right.
I ain't got to wait on nothing. Man, sitting there trying to hold it. Plus too, you done got older. You can't hold it like
Hold
you
it like you
used to.
used to. I heard
Boy,
that.
shit, at the time now, when I was down there, boy, I'm already peeing and barely got my clothes down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be telling myself, you can't be playing around like you used to, shh, like you say. There's been times, like I say, by the time you get everything down, it's coming already, you
Yeah,
know.
you stepping back so you don't
That's right.
push down your leg, you know?
Yeah, so I got to where now, as first thing I think about when I go up to McMill and stuff, before I head back to Murfreesboro, I go to the bathroom,
Yes, sir.
I gotta
Yes,
go,
sir.
I gotta make a stop, there's been a few times that I got on the road and forgot about it. I said, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Then I
Yeah.
tell myself, why you even chancing it? I'll go, I'll go to Hardee's and go inside and get me a small drink. 'cause I hate to go in and just use the bathroom and walk out, you know? So I'll go in and I'll go use the bathroom. I'll go up front and give me a small soda, and I'd get that going on my way because 'cause I'm like, "Yeah, you think you can hold it. You get
Yeah,
halfway to
buddy.
Murfreesboro, you ain't near no gas station or nothing." I said, "No,
Mhm.
I don't even chance it."
No, not no more. Me and Rosa was laughing on the way back. His little right going as soon as you cross the Red River, getting over into Oklahoma. Had a little old gas station convenience store been sitting there for God knows how long, but we know at least the 30 years that we've been traveling that road, been there. Man, we stopped in there one time. It was just me and her, so I guess the boys had grown up. Anyway, I walked in. I said, "Excuse me, can you tell me where your bathroom is?" Told me, "Well, you got to buy something before you can go into that bathroom." I was like, "I'll be damned. You got to buy something to be able to use the bathroom." We were laughing about that on the way back. I was like, "Oh, I tell you what, I ain't never stopped there again."
I
That was the
heard
only
that.
time. But yeah, man, I'm with you, bro. I got to go now. It's just like when the kids was here. When we get ready to go somewhere, Ross, did you go to the bathroom? I'm like, yeah. Hell yeah, I've been to the bathroom because I know what's gonna happen. If I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah, we the same way. You know, do we need to go to the bathroom before we leave? I already gone. I'm good. I'm good. I'm like, okay, let's go. But
yeah,
yeah, same way. But I guess that's just as we keep saying, part of getting old. It's
yeah,
just it's part of it.
yes, sir. I found out down there, we went to a football game, man. I called myself gonna step them bleachers, man. I damn near fell over on that concrete. The next time I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm gonna scoot all the way down, hit them steps over there instead of trying to take that long step. I got a bad knee, boy. I was like,
Mhm.
dang, I see why now. I see why now. All the old folks sit down no more than 3 rows up. Now I'm in that group.
Yeah, yeah. Well, man's been like that for the number of years she's had her knee replacement. She don't know. She can't go up the top. She sits down on the when we go to Donovan's basketball games and stuff. She sits on the very first row,
Yeah,
because she can't get up the stairs. She if she has to go up a row or two, she can, but she
right,
hopefully has a space down there on the bottom. I just told her, I said, my only concern is if they coming over here running out of bounds on out of bounds play, you can't really get out of the way.
right,
But,
right.
so far that hadn't been a problem, but yeah, she does the same thing, man. Other day, I was going up the stairs, and I don't know what it was. It's just something about going up the stairs. I came down and put my knee down and almost fell down. I mean,
Mhm,
my knee hurt so bad and stuff. They said they think it's a partially torn meniscus in there.
mhm,
But, it was on the left side of my right knee, and now it's the right side of my
mm,
right knee,
mhm.
and my hip was bothering me the other day.
Man,
I was in there, I said, I'll be out there trying to play around with Dom and shooting ball and all that kinda stuff, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm okay when I'm out there. Then I get back
mhm.
inside and sit down and stuff. My hip was I'm like, "Why does my hip bother me now?" And I went in and I rubbing it, because I always think in my mind, is it your hip or is it your kidneys? That's
Yeah,
always my concern. So I
yep,
always say, well, no, that's too damn low to be your kidneys. Your kidneys up be around
mhm,
your chest area.
mhm.
And I'll rub on it and rub on it. I got some of that Asper cream stuff, and I'll go take me a couple of Advil and stuff.
Yes,
Man, I'm
sir.
thinking that, and I was telling you about my trigger finger, man. It's getting to where now I gotta physically straighten it out.
Straighten it.
I used to
Yep,
could do it just myself, just straight. Now I gotta reach down and pull it back out.
yep.
I'm like, damn.
Time for that cortisone, bro.
I don't wanna do that. I've had too many of them. I don't wanna do that. But I think that's the same thing. And
Mhm,
I matter of fact, they got the place here, the physical therapy place, TOA. Total
mhm,
Orthopedic Alliance, I think. Well, Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. That's where I always go to. And I was out there for him to look at my knee a couple of weeks ago, and I said, I'm going to go out there and have a look at my finger. Now the VA took some X-rays, and they they ain't said nothing. I saw the report and they basically said they ain't nothing, they couldn't see nothing going on. I said, I'm gonna go out to TOA and let them do something. I said, I can see them saying, well, when you just in here the other week for your knee, and our records show you been in here for your shoulder, you been in for your
No,
elbow.
no, no. What's gonna mess you up is when they said, "Mr. Glenn, good to see you again."
Yeah, as they say, it's hell getting old, but considering the alternative, we'll deal with the aches and pains. Well, hope you enjoyed this edition. Join us next time for Old Fools Talking Old School. Until then, this is Mickey G. Peace.